Now, these are stencils. They're not full. I'm not that bad. These are actually empty. So those two boxes are empty. These have got stencils in them. I'm playing with doing something different with these ones. In here is Stampin' Up! The flat punches. Goes right into there. So they're a little bit more of the odd sized ones. While I'm down here, might as well do this one. 12 by 12 cardstock. So I don't use that much of it, but I use a lot of the white and the black for mini albums. In here, I've got all these old Christmas cards that friends have given me, and I intend to make a little mini album that I can just pull out. So they're all stashed away, and honestly I probably got way too many. More ribbon, but this is nice. This is in a little container that I can easily pull out, and it's all holy, so all the ribbon sort of sticks out, so you can just look at it and pull it out and off you go. That is a pencil case. I've got another one elsewhere which I'll show you in a little bit. More cards. That's my craft mat, of course. So I'm thinking of putting my stencils in one of these tubs. It's got more papers of graphic 45, a bit of a mixture really, an old basic grey, but I'm thinking about putting my stencils in there. This is all paper. I've cut this back, cut this all up, but I'm thinking I might destash all that. So if you want some paper, let me know. So this is all cut to like an Australian card base, which is a little bit narrower than American. More papers. Some of those are cut up. As I said, I used to do cross stitch. This was my just different things I either haven't done or I want to. I was going to cross stitch all these things for the kids. This one's been done, but cross stitch for all the kids, like all the not my grandkids, but all my nieces and nephews and everything else. But they came too quickly along, you know, there was like bang, 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 one after one after one after New Year, each year. This was given to me by my kid at school at the end of the year, and I'm Welsh. This is a card that I originally made to light up, but I decided to play with it a little bit more, and then I killed the lights. So anyway, I made this because my grandmother passed away. A little candle. Up along the top is an IKEA picture rail, which was black, but I painted it white and then added a little bit of wax over the top of it. And then I've got all my twine. That's a Christmas card that I made for my aunt, who it never got sent because she passed away. Stampin' Up! All the inks refills are up the top. This is all business stuff with the NDIS. Don't need to tell you. This is all my stamps. Yeah, I have a bit. I'm slowly working at destashing. So they're all set up. See, some of them are in DVD cases. Some of them can hardly get out because they're jam-packed full. Some of them are in little plastic pockets. These aren't Avriel because we can't really get them. It cost us an arm and leg, which is about a hock a kidney for Avriel things. So these are actually DVD inserts things. So they're all labelled by like who they are, except things like backgrounds, Christmas, miscellaneous, where I might have 1, 2 or something of that. Stampin' Up! Words, current Stampin' Up! That's a lie. Stampin' Up! Sentiments, so everything that has just all sentiments. And then we've got well, you can see. So down here, try and make you not sick. Some albums that I don't know why. Don't ask me. I think that's just, that might, oh no, that's got something in it. This has a couple of pages. This has a couple of pages. I'm not going to show you because I'm not a scrapbooker. But friends of mine did scrapbooking, and then they'd invite me around and we'd have to go off and do it. And so then I thought, oh, well, maybe I'll get an album for each of the boys. Yeah, no. I'm not a scrapbooker. Love looking at them, but I'm not a scrapbooker. This has all my bases, all my card bases. So white and cream are the most major ones I got, although I've got a few blacks. These just scraps. And this is some little templates, and there's some small little cards, packs down there. But it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Let me just get up. Before I open these two cupboards, I'll go up the top here. So this has sort of basically like all the foam, and a dirty great big towel, and a cable. So that towel is mostly for, that towel is just for when I want to spray things and that sort of stuff where I don't want my box. All down here, I scored these from my boss as well, have templates for created cards. So they've got the templates, they've got a maybe one of the cards, but mostly all the templates for different things. Handmade embellishments, which is not really much in there. That, I don't know what that one is. Little containers, album things. This is my Xyron. This is one of my binder dolls, and I didn't like looking at the box, so I stuck the cardstock in it. This is a container for if I buy something for somewhere, and I stash it away in there. That's why it's not labelled. Okay, let's go into my cupboard. Now, this is Piggy. He goes to camp. Press and seal, Glad press and seal. We don't get that very much in Australia. We get that either from the USA Foods, which is down in not far from where I live, or Costco every now and then has these big packets when you get 3 for $10. I don't know. There's 3 in a packet. Hole punch. This is UT embossing powders, sort of all the extra ones, some wax that someone gave me, but I've never really used it. This is one of my little cupcakes that I used to make, which had all the, over there was all the instructions on how to make them, so they're super cute. Pearl-Ex back there. This is all my cardstock that I use. So there's some retired. Metallics, and then we've got other specialty paper. So there's some cold laminate stuff in there. There would be other like Copic paper, that sort of thing. And this is all just standard sort of stuff with a little bit more retired, but all the white and everything else is still here. And they're just in heavy duty plastic pockets, like the thicker stuff, and with a little label on it so I can see what it is. Back there is some ink stamp cleaner. I don't have a PowerPoint to my desk, and this one's a plug-in sort of thing, so he goes to camp and things like that. Acrylic blocks, that sort of thing. Vellum and jack paper, which you can't really actually get jack paper anymore, so it's mostly just vellum. Tracing paper, mostly for when the kids want something, bits and pieces. Acetate, simples. This is card inserts. It's also quite heavy. A dried up chamois and a little notepad, which is quite cute when you give them. This is my aunt. This is very, very old. I don't even know how old this is. This is, what's the date? Can we read the date on that? Not really. Someone sent it to my great aunt, and it is full of other little envelopes. Super cute. And then there is another one, and it keeps going and going, and it's still not done yet. And then finally, we've got the little card. It's so cute. And it's so old. Oh, there's a date. I think that says 1934 or something. It's super hard to see. And plus I don't have my glasses on. And then it opens up to even the handwriting. Look at the handwriting. It's just awesome. So I mean, how cute is that? And they just don't make that these days. Lots of little things. Anyway, I digress. Let's go back over here. So that is that in there. Cutters, mother of all. Block. This is a darker and blue stamp. She's not. They've got lots of other ones too. Big lit Ziploc bags. This has got some pastels. I think it was. Oh, it's called. Yeah, some pastels, and this is an old rubber. It's got 4 sides and different stamps on each side. Alcohol wipes. This has my old twinkling H2Os in it. This is mostly sort of like album stuff and bits and pieces. So we've got embossing powders and things, different ones. Embossing trays with a couple of, these are just those things out of stamps, you know, to help you colour in and all that sort of stuff. Some more templates, more templates, watercolour, that's the clay and some of the tools, gold stickers, and stamps by Judith, cards to put away. So some of this might be the creative cards. Ugh, get it out, Nat. Okay. Alcohol backgrounds, but there's some extra Yuppie because they were selling it really cheap. That's all my Yuppie. As I said, I was selling it really cheap. So, and this is wipes, little funnel things, and spoons. So over here we have just other bits and pieces for albums, extras, albums. This is all different scraps because I go through a lot of black when sometimes I put, not very often, but sometimes I put sticky back on it, sticky white, various tags, different backgrounds, some coloured images that are just need to be put on a card or something like that, kits to do. Other mediums, so this is like the canvas, this is foam board and things like that. Eyelets, hardware for albums, album prep, which I don't really have an album. I have half an album, but I don't really have anything in there, and an extra black, so there's lots and lots of black in there. That's just cut. This is embroidery floss, and this is some pictures, envelopes, different envelopes like DL, that sort of thing, foil bags. This is just Christmas stuff, which is, those 3 things don't really have anything in it. These are other albums that I wouldn't mind doing. Some pretty paper, the Unforgettable. I have too many. Let's just close that up. And then let's start down here because I'm already down here. This is like masking. It's almost like contact paper, but it's masking stuff. Another Craft thing. Tote bag to take away. In there is moss. Those 2 are empty. These are different different bits and pieces, so large card kits and cards to put away, things to use that I might take to camps, that sort of thing, backgrounds to use, other kits, because sometimes my boss keeps me kit, different projects, that's the same thing. This is an album, this is an album that is, it's just black, there's nothing else in that. Handmade papers and bits and like just, you know, fancy pants papers. This is super heavy, and in here is just Christmas papers. And I love papers, but I never use it, so I don't know why I buy it. Glitters, flocking, more glitter. This is Christmas stamps. Stamps. These are all wood. These are all wood mounted stamps. Because I haven't brought myself to take them off their thing. If I'm in the middle of the project, extra cards, and this is for class prep. So if I'm going to be teaching class, then I just put everything else that I can think of, or if I get them out to work on it, and then I could just show it back in there. That's one of the diamond paintings. It's not done, and there's some scrapping things back there. Over here, some different tutorials, off the page bits and pieces. That is my art journal, the binder things. I'm not going to go through each one of these because they're quite a while, and I actually have to climb onto the map drawer half. Tools, stamp rollers, Zentangle stuff, and wobblers, you know, the little wobbling things, cables and tools, cables and tripods, micro flakes, brushes, Sharpies, aqua liners, aqua lips, and fine liners and that sort of thing, Winker Stella and jelly rolls, shaker things, those top two one there, they're both anything to do with shakers. Case of carved pencils, pens are in there, so the pencils are in the other things, so the pens are there. Washi tape, which I don't know why I really got. In here I made all these. So these are mostly, this is like swatches of cardstock, receipts and all that sort of stuff, boring stuff. These are stamped images. So I used to have all these folders, and so I cut them all up and shoved them in here. A little ATC book from camp last year that I made. That's got some lights in it, and it's just got some different colour combos that if I ever get stuck. This has got a whole heap of just glues and bits and pieces. This is containers and a diamond painting of some minions with their bare bums, and just other containers. So it's nothing boring in there. In here is all alcohol. So isopropyl, alcohols, blending foams, felt blending things, little, what are they called? I don't know what they're called. I ripped the packaging off and I don't know what they're called. So that's all alcohol. And there's some re-inkers down there, I think, of like Memento and things like that that I don't use very often. Do it right here. So this table, I bought this table. It needed to be extended a little bit. It was an extendable table, so it didn't really matter, because I got this map drawer. And I can't really drag it out too much, but we'll see what will go. Oh, that one's easy. All my inks. So the things that I use the most, like the blacks are still on my desk, but other bits and pieces in colouring things that I use the most are over there. And then we've got the oxides over here with the little mat. This is the pretty drawer. So these are only very, very narrow. They're literally like about that big. So sequins, wood mounts. Under here is sentiment strips from like the Tailored Expression, where you can die cut them all out. I haven't figured out what I want to do there, whether I want to keep those in the packaging or what. Chipboard. I don't really use very much chipboard, but I thought if I put it out like this, I might be better. Brad's tucked in behind there because it comes out more. Lettering stuff, which doesn't really have too much, no. So all handmade lettering bits and pieces, and this is the pencil case, the blue one that was over in the drawers, and then that goes around it. Super cute. Rulers, a couple of stencils, nothing major. So there's room to grow. Score pads, so scoreboards, and then we've also got paper pads, and then there's Project Life kits, which, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. This has all my felt, so lots of bits and pieces, and a Christmas decoration thing that I actually did a few years ago. So all this was in the laundry, so when I got this, it made sense. Material. So this has got to do with the albums. So very cool, funky, sort of fish scale type of thing. Sometimes I take my photos on that. That's just like a little tablecloth. This is really cool binders. And I couldn't really let these go. I don't know what I'm going to do with that because it's going to get dirty, but I don't know. This next one is just extras of everything. Scissors, cut and dry, cutting mats. So the Brothers Scan and Cut, Copic, other cutting mats. This is some big, there's some synthetic Yupo, the big A3, but otherwise it's just some other big paper pads that. The next one is packaging, and there's a bit of chipboard, and this one in particular is very, very heavy, so I am not going to open it, but it's full of chipboard. So then we've got the silhouette, which I want to try and use a bit more and relearn that, because surely there's got to be a better way to do it. But it's just, I like easy. I'm lazy. I like the Braille scanner cut. Just put it in, it works it out. Another binder doll. They're extra baby wipes and some material. I think someone gave it to me. Okay. This is another Kaiser Craft. So this has all my Big Shot bits and pieces, including some diffusers. This has got my embossing folders. In here has some old greetings of wood mount stamps that I still haven't done anything with. Bigs. And my minions. Whoopsies. You see my minions back there? They're so cute. Yeah, I'm a bit addicted to minions. And these are bigger embossing folders, so the square or the 5x7. There's also some 5x7s in there. This is where I would do all my videoing. So there's two lights there, and then my camera, my phone will go up onto that, and then it will fall over. Don't need to explain what that is, surely. So a sewing machine. This is a little container that someone I saw. Again, it's been contaminated, so I'm not too sure what I'm going to do about that. Embossing white and gold, small little Sizzix. These are my lights. This has just got all the bits and pieces that I might need when I'm actually making a card for the camera. In these drawers are just other bits and pieces that I might possibly need, including my Misty, including my Fiskars silicone mat, little panel that didn't really work out very well, some sequins that need to go away, and other bits and pieces that I just, it's easy, sometimes you forget these things. In here, a couple of blending things, an empty container, Tim Holtz. So I've got cutters at my desk, and I've got a cutter here. Sometimes you just forget. scoring board. There's pins and things like that because my sewing machine, these are all badges that I should sew on my kids' blankets. But, you know, I haven't done it. This is sewing things to fix up. This is sort of packets and also other tops, and some of these just need buttons sort of put on it. This is my son's Scout thing. Underneath there are just containers that I slowly fill up over the course of the year to sell. Moving over here, sewing. Tim Holtz scissors, which are really, really cool. This is more thread. I shouldn't say more thread because there's no other thread there. This is another thing that I used to do. This is a patchwork thing that I bought each of my boys a big patchwork. This patchwork is just a lot of work, but I'm yet to do it. This is other patchwork that, oh, that's from one of my great aunts. She did all that. It's so cool. This is my mum's patchwork, which is actually just a little frog thing because she likes her frogs, although her frog is now with us, so yeah, I don't know. And that's all the extra threads, and that's extra bits and pieces and current ones. Down here, patchwork material and my heat gun. I was about to say that's about it, but it's not. We haven't done my desk, which is pretty simple. That's just stuff that I would like to work on. Card bases and stamping things already pre-cut and everything else. These are a whole heap of sentiments. That's something that I grabbed from down the beach for photos. And just things to cut and to stamp. Things like that. Oops. Because I don't have any light, this gets plugged into a battery. Tools. I made this. It's really cute. With brushes and Copics, and if I need to refill a Copic, it goes in there. These little tongue depressor type of things, they're actually like, if you don't know what to do, pull out one of those and see what it says. Rulers in a wine case thing. These sort of bits and pieces are what the piggy was from the 10-year anniversary of camp. And then I had these little chipboards and our little clipboards, not chipboards, clipboards. I didn't know what to do about with them. My Groot. This is a coaster. My friend made this and she didn't really like it. And I thought it was really cool. So in here are scissors, another little coasters and other bits and pieces. So a bigger craft knife. There's dirty old chucks in there. Different tools. So I have a little bit of tools here and a little bit of tools over there. My watercolours. Prismacolor charts. There's more watercolours underneath that. These are all the ink pads and some stamps that I use a bit more often. Apart from these, I haven't really used. These are Art Deco, but I don't use them too much, which I need to get in VersaFine St. Clair. And, oh, that's the new, oh, it's not the new anymore, I suppose. Embossing powder. Oops. Pens. Little painty things. A little bit of bling. These are all old. They're not current for scraping bits and pieces. This is my trolley. So this is my foam thing. They're the 2 flower containers. So beside me, these are all images that I stamped while my Craftroom was being destroyed. Nuvo. My battery's going to be dying soon. Case of Craftroom, I think it was. Square envelopes. This has got other enamel dots in there. My big toilet roll. This has got all my nail polish in here, in this black thing. This is all my bling, all the clear bling. And then we've got the pearls back there. My bin. Surprise, surprise. That's the drying rack. So as I said, my guillotine. I've got another guillotine over here. These are foam things. There's some more foam things already in that container. This is just what I bought because I bought for making the swatches for my stencils and then connecting them to that. Stampin', yes, no, Stamperitis. Miscellaneous bits, glasses, an old diary, containers, nothing too exciting. Wet ones. This is the book. Oops. This is the book that I write all the bits and pieces, colours. Just bits and pieces, really. Bits and pieces. Clear block, little punch. That's about it. And over this side, that's got my Copics. So all my Copics are in there, all my pretties. That's got some other bits and pieces that I need to go through and sort out. And that's just if I don't want to put all my Copics back. And there's some little swatches. That's about it. So one last pan before my thing dies. I don't think I've forgotten anything. Dining room. So I have a big room, but you know, I do share it with the rest of the family. Don't look at that plant. It gets too much sun. And I think that's about it. So thank you for stopping in. Like, subscribe, and if you've got any other questions about anything I do, just leave it in the comments below. Bye.